Okay, it's your world.
Okay, so you want me to shoot? Okay.
Unless you forgot.
No, no, I'm good. I'm good. I thought showed something first and then did it, but it's
I'm
cool.
waiting for
I'm
my picture to come up. That's all. I don't know what it's doing. There it comes. It's coming. It's coming.
all right. So you ready?
Ready?
Okay. Peace and blessings, everybody. My name is Kaya Ahmad, and this is another great Sunday afternoon. The brother that I am going to introduce this afternoon is a strong brother, a powerful leader. He originally comes from Chicago um, and currently lives in California. He's a world traveler. He has a travel business. He also does a bunch of different things, photography, and too many things to really go into everything now. But he has shown leadership skills. He's a former Marine, so he's a veteran. He showed his leadership skills when he worked for Toyota. So he has just like has so many hats that he's worn. But everything that he's done, he's excelled at it. He's a father of 3 beautiful daughters, 3 beautiful granddaughters, a grandson who was just born this past June on Juneteenth. His granddaughter's birthday, his oldest granddaughter's birthday, is actually the same birthday as Marcus Garvey. So, so I don't believe in coincidences. So I think that that's really strong that his first grandchild shares the birthday with Marcus Garvey, and his last grandchild so far has the birthday of Juneteenth. And, he follows a great legacy. His dad was really a trailblazer with IBM as a Black person in IBM, one of the very few ones who also helped his family. His father helped his family, like teaching a lot of people technology, and, a lot of his cousins and his brothers are both techies. They're all techies. So his mom is really strong. She is really into her culture, and his mother's leadership skills really shines through in Dennis Mott Jr. So Dennis, you have the floor.
All right. Thank you very much, Kai, for that introduction out there in the wilderness out there in Kingston, New York. All right. Thank you, guys. We're going to have a great time today. It's going to be Marcus Garvey, the impact of Marcus Garvey, and the future of our people. That's what I call it, Marcus Garvey, the impact of Marcus Garvey, and the future of our people with what he has presented, all the things that he's done. And Marcus Garvey is one of my heroes. First it was Malcolm X, and before Malcolm X was Marcus Garvey. So it's really great to be here, and all my Marine buddies just going to hear this. It is once a Marine, always a Marine, never a former Marine. So we're always there. We're the only ones that are a little different. So you guys understand that. So anyway, no further ado, we'll just go ahead and show this is the man we're talking about, Mr. Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, great man. And you guys have been on some of the previous events I dedicated this whole month. So this is be like a review and also going into the future of what you guys think. There's a medal right there we have from Sherry. I don't know if Nadra had a chance to invite her back on, but a medal from the UNIA right there from Marcus Garvey Movement, a Garveyite original artifact right there. It is amazing just to hear the information that she's put out there. It's just great to know the impact that he had. I was watching my one of my dad filmed one of my great uncles, and he talked about Garveyites as well. So it was just amazing to hear all that. And of course, Marcus Garvey said, be Black, buy Black, think Black, and everything else will take care of itself. Group economics is what we should be practicing. Never forget that intelligence rules the world and ignorance carries the burden. Therefore, remove yourself as far as possible from ignorance and seek as far as possible to be intelligent. Marcus Mosiah Garvey. If we as a people realize the greatness from which we came, we would be less likely to disrespect ourselves, so much so. And as we saw right here, be Black, buy Black, think Black, and all else will take care of itself. We saw those wonderful uniforms he had out there. It was just amazing. I love this one. Why should not Africa give the world its rich people, pretty much, the Rockefellers, Rockefellers, Rothschilds, Henry Fords. Now is the opportunity. With all this chaos going on, this epidemic, hey, we have time to come home, find out who we are, find out about ourselves. Go research Marcus Garvey, research people in the history of our culture. Now is the chance for every Negro to make every effort towards a commercial industrial standard that will make us comparable with the success of businessmen of other races. That is great. So we are definitely going to be doing that. I love this. One God, one aim, one destiny. Africa for Africans at home and abroad. So I'm talking to everyone all throughout the African diaspora, the Pan-Africanism that he had to carry on through this day. As a Black CEO, as Kaya alluded to earlier, there's a lot of things that I do. I am unapologetic about the unique distinction that I represent in the marketplace. And we are all marketers, and we should become marketers to pass on this word by word, word of mouth. We are marketers, like Marcus Garvey said, and we'll talk about that a little bit later. I love it about our young people that are in college and graduating. They need to be educated, and sometimes they are miseducated, but a lot of us don't know who the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey is. It is our duty to pass this on to our youth, and our youth, if they know about it, to pass on to the elders and our generation and generations to come. This is about a man who did this 100 years ago, started the UNIA, and this is a 100-year anniversary this month of the UNIA. So we all know I love Black people. You know, you see Honorable Marcus Garvey behind me. Yes, yes, yes. A people without the knowledge of their past history, origin, and culture is like a tree without roots. You see him in Africa right there, which was supposed to be his destination, and he has the roots down there, and we have to go ahead deep and have our foundation. He had a blueprint for us, and we're just going to talk about that today. And we're talking about this DVD right here. You can get this as well if you want to. If you know someone else in the Bible Black movement, you can do that, or you can also contact myself if you need be. So that is one thing right there, and we're going to go over here to Brother Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Excuse me, he has a whole bunch of stuff here. I was just collecting stuff up just from Garvey right here. A progressive leader of Black pride, Black power, and Black self-reliance, was born in St. Anne's, Jamaica. Hey, up ye mighty race, accomplish what you will. Again, born August 17th, 1887, Marcus Mosiah Garvey. Great accomplishment. We've seen a lot of things. It's just some clips here, right here. We have a beautiful history, and we shall create another in the future that will astonish the world. That's right. We're going to create another in the future. We're right here in the present. We're going to create that, and he's all about creating everything that we saw in the past. That's when I get your opinions and your thoughts about what we watched in the past as well. So Marcus Garvey is an excellent guy. He talked about, I call him like the greatest master marketer there was. If you have no confidence in self, you are twice defeated in the race of life. We want to have self-development for ourselves. We have to have the self-confidence in order to carry on in our race, as well as going on in this diaspora. We have so many people in Africa, Asia, South America, Brazil. It's so many places out there in the Caribbean. So we have a responsibility to pass all this information on to everyone else. So we will be doing that, and you'll see this. I love this because he got this from Brother Bob Marley got this from him. We are going to emancipate ourselves from mental slavery, because whilst others might free the body, none but ourselves can free the mind. The man who is not able to develop and use his mind is bound to be the slave of the other man who uses his mind. Woo, powerful. I love it. Yes, yes. You know, I'm loving this right here. Marcus Garvey had lots of quotes, lots of things out there that he had. So we want to just commend this brother for what he did. You know, right here, look at this. Did you know Marcus Garvey united 6 million Black people between 1916 and 1926, a 10-year period, built huge Black businesses. Now, again, no cell phones, no internet, no cable, no TV. It's just word of mouth. That is amazing. So we need to learn something from that and go out and do this as well. He had a fleet of ships in 1920. Who else do you know that has a Black fleet of ships? I don't know anyone to this day. Maybe you can stand me corrected, but I don't know who had ships like that, like cruise ships. That's what we need to do in the future. take his blueprint. He has it right there for us. Go out there and do it. Employed over 1,000 Black people in New York City alone. That's amazing. New York City, I know some of you guys out in New York, 1,000 Black people alone by one man. That's not including the whole diaspora, everywhere else he was in the Caribbean, England, all that other stuff. He created the red, black, and green flag that we use today. You can look behind me and see those colors right there and much, much more. So I give a lot of kudos and respect to the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey, who gave us that red, black, and green flag, which we know when we see that, we know it's about our people, Africans, African-American, Africans all abroad throughout the diaspora. That's what he does. If you haven't just read that one before, confidence is the key. Believe in yourself, confidence, goals, dreams, motivation. Keep pushing, always striving. Marcus Garvey, you and I, Black Star Line, a Black Star Line. You know we love Black people. Look at that. I'm just going through things that you can see with the Honorable Marcus Garvey. Look at these pictures. I just wanted to get that in your frame of your mind so you can see. Look at that. I love that red, black, and green with that awesome uniform on, saying, hey, I'm not standing for nothing. I'm going out and making something. I'm going to create something with my people, and that's what he did. Africa for Africans at home and abroad. Love it, love it, love it. Real men laugh at opposition. Real men smile when enemies appear. Woo, that's me. And that's what we do. You know, we have to do this as a people, you know, and I'm not leaving you women out. You all there too as well. The Black skin is not a badge of shame, but rather a glorious symbol of national greatness. Yes, it is. You know, we have that Black skin. We should be proud of what we have, the skin within. Marcus Garvey again, Africa for Africans. I just took some clips out of this right here. It is only through the bringing together of 400 million Negroes into one mighty bond that we can successfully find our way through the avenues of opposition and the oceans of difficulties that seem to confront us. Yes, that is so correct. Let's bring our people all together around. Only we can do, and we can pilot our way through all these oceans and waves and difficulties, because we can always be like water and flow through it, around it, above it, and we can do this together. I have come across so many weaklings who profess to be leaders, and in the test, I have found them but the slaves of a noble class. They perform the will of their masters without question. That is so true. He's talking pretty much about, you know, and I know Philip A. Randolph and W.E.B. Du Bois and other leaders at that time who wanted self-proclamation, but he was trying to bring up the whole race. And when you have that, you will have haters and people who do not see your vision. The time has come for the Black man to forget his hero worship of other races and create the emulant heroes of his own. That's it. That is it. That's what we do right here. Liberate the minds of men, and ultimately you will liberate the bodies of men. Right there, yes. Take advantage of every opportunity. Where there is none, make it for yourself. That's right, everyday power. We can do this. Take advantage of every opportunity, and we have people out there that in other businesses, take advantage of it. Brother Marcus Garvey gave that to us, and let's keep on going on. This is such a great man, and he's worked so hard to do things and left so many things for us in a legacy. On this day in history, we must never forget Marcus Mosiah Garvey Jr. Never forget. That's right, a lifetime journey towards education that is inclusive of all Africans and African Americans and Black history, not just part of it. We have to get it all, the whole thing. And this man, they tried to keep out of our history. Who could not hide all the things that he had? Millineries, clothing factory, everything he clothed, he manufactured everything. That's what we need to do today. Take this blueprint. He left us the blueprint for us to do this, and this is what we need to do on a daily basis and take that to the next level. Black nationalism and the call for Black power. Woo, what did I just say? Bam and bam. Two heroes right here together. That is some power right there, some ultimate power. The UNIA teaches our race self-help and self-reliance and all those things that contribute to human happiness and well-being. I got a lot of stuff out here. Without commerce and industry, a people perish economically. The Negro is perishing because he has no economic system. Let me know, does that apply to us today? I think it does. I can see that right now. It does apply to us today, and we have to change that for our people as well. So let me go ahead and get some of these. We did this last week. I'm just going to go through some quick photos of them right quick. And you guys, I'll just appreciate you guys being the last week. Just go to the slideshow. We see him in his automobile right here. Now, Marcus Garvey, you know, right there. I love that car because it says, I think it says, I'm going to get a look. The new Negro has no fear. It's false evidence appearing real, and we can't have any fear. We have to go out there and be prosperous people, economically sound, and build things. He gave us he was a master marketer, not only in what he did, but he taught us how to have products and services coming from, these are just some of the pictures that I had. Look at that, the sugar cane, looking like we're on a plantation, but he gave us the strength to go ahead and carry on and be better than we were, than we thought we were, to sit up and be viable and at the top of our race and be able to compete in the world economy. And that's what he did. He let us go. He had stocks, bonds. He had all kinds of things. Met Amy right there in St. Anne's, Jamaica, and Kingston, Jamaica, and I like that. President and traveling commissioner. Understand that. I feel like Randolph gave him his first start, but I'm going to keep talking about Brother Marcus. He had great ideas. He said we had products that we need to make. We need to create those products. Not only that, and then he had the services as he used the Black Star Line. He had all kinds of things that you're going to see here. You're going to see dolls that he made, black dolls. And this is when you see these pictures of what these people did to us back in the day. But you got to understand, we were afraid. But now look at us, very confident in who we are, dressed nice, coming from the South, going up in all those tuxes. Oh my God, you could just see the mental and the not the mental awareness, but the confidence that he gave to not only us, but all of our people from going through the Jim Crow era. He is an outstanding man, colored only, police order. We had to go through so much, but at that time, that's 50 years out of slavery when he was coming up in that time. Look at that, 100 Negroes shot, burned, clubbed to death in East St. Louis race war. But we were afraid of these people. But Marcus Garvey gave us the strength, the knowledge, the fortitude, the economic power to join together and unify to be able to overcome all of these obstacles in, cleaving us in the head. But we still went on and, we said, hey, let's go out here. And guess what? He put us together, and we talking about getting together. We came out and marched and had UNI parades and had airplanes, the Air Corps, everything else. They still try to keep us out. Look, they had the military and police and everything bringing us in. But we, as Marcus Garvey, kept us going no matter what was going on. He said, we can do it. We are one aim, one God, one destiny. And, they had the Legion where you had to join up with them. But that's not all. He had to reach out. He had ideas right there, so many ideas in his head that he could go out and transform it to a vision and let people actually touch it, feel it. Look at this young man right here, looking so proud, and look at them standing up with honor. No slouching down. Yes, sir, Mr. Boss Man. None of that. We came out, we're ready to do what we had to do to get to where we had to go. And he had the millineries, he had meat stores, he had fisheries, all kinds of things that we had right there to make sure that we were a prosperous people, manufacturing our clothes, sewing the clothes. Anything you can think of, they had it. And that's what I love about it. It gave a lot of us the confidence to do so. And with that, we had to respect ourselves. We learned to respect ourselves as no one else has ever done for us. And we rose to all the occasions that was going on out there at that time. We rose above and beyond it. And the women, he really respected the women. That's why they're looking like that. Nowadays they don't give the women, some of the women respect, but I respect all of you women. But them other people, they just don't respect nobody. They don't care, woman, man, whatever. They respect dogs better than that. But anyway, we're going to go on and see how many people and how he had those women standing up there in their uniforms, ready to go, the Black Cross nurses, all that. And people came all over the world to see his conventions. It was like 25 million people. Look at this, clothes. They did that. They had tailoring shops. They designed suits and dresses, matched perfectly, millinery stores, trucking system, had their own trucking line, light and heavy hauling, all these things, employment, improvement, all publishing, cigars, they produce cigars. This is what we're producing. We're making all these things at that time going on and providing for our people. We had to be honest, trustful, loyal, and all that. He had money that he could borrow from his own bank. Started building our people up, and then of course, Marcus Garvey was shot in New York. They tried to assassinate him, but the man got out. He just got shot. His wife wrestled the gunman down, Africa for Africans, and guess what? Not only did she do that, then he came out the next day or that evening, I'm not sure which one, but came out and did a nice speech with the gunshot. That is amazing. That's what we did. He was ready to take us to Liberia, no matter what happened. We had the papers in Spanish, French, English. He was all over the place, folks, and this is the answer. He talked all the way to West Africa. They barred his paper from coming over there because they didn't want them to get all these Africans to get all this stuff in their mind. He came over there and made the strike in South Africa with the mindset that he had. He was reaching people in different continents, which we can't do today. Even though the world is smaller by the internet, we still are not doing what he had. And that's the number one enemy. J. Edgar Hoover right there just had to show it. And he had people following, infiltrating Marcus Garvey. And this was pretty much the downfall. He had the Black Star Line right there, the Steamship Corporation, and they wanted to bring that down very bad. But he launched it. He had, I think, 3 ships and let us guide us to our own destiny. That's what he had. And, we also have, now that we're talking about Black Star Line, myself and Shuna have oars coming out, and it's coming out. We're working on it diligently. And, oars is just getting those oars going in the same direction back in Africa. Everyone is paddling as a team, and we're going upstream or downstream, but we're all in unison. We want to have businesses to do that as well in oars. And you can do that. Go look it up on oars.site/products if you want to do that. But we're trying to go the same thing at the convention as Marcus Garvey. Eventually, we have to start something. I always say, you don't have to be great to start, but you have to start to be great. And that's what we're doing right here. We're doing it no matter what. They have things out there such as the Buy Black movement. We have other things where look at all these Black people. We need to come together and do that no matter what your business is, what walk of life you come from. We still to this day need to honor the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey and deal with that in the future. We're coming out. We need to have our businesses in place, our own schools, our own independent schools, not dependent on the system that we are, the systematic government that we're in right now. We have to be able to teach our own. Look at that, man. Those look like a bunch of Muslims out there, but that was the UNIA women right there. That's just amazing. I love these pictures, and the men. That just brings so much joy to me just to see how we were then and how we need to be now, and going into propelling ourselves into the future as well. So I'm just so happy to have you guys here and just reviewing all this. I'm just hoping I can bring up some memories as when you get to speak, you can tell me about what you thought about the Honorable Marcus Garvey and what he did. And Negro dolls, I just love this. I get my granddaughters dolls all the time, but they have to be Black. This is something that is very good. And he even became his own lawyer, of course, going up against the powers that be at that time. You know what happened. Even in our date today, we go to court, it's the same thing. We got to change that. And right there, you see a powerful picture right there of the White House and who was there. And we just have to keep on striving and going forward and doing things. Marcus even started talking to the Klan. You're right. Say, hey, you stay over there, we stay over here. I'm good with y'all. I'm great with that. We want our nation, you have your nation. Not a problem. These two right here were one of the downfalls of Marcus Garvey. They send in our own. We have to watch out for that. But it's okay because we are here now learning from those things. They did it to the Black Panther Party. They did it to Malcolm X. They did it to Marcus Garvey. They do it to any establishment. But guess what? We have to be ready for that and be understanding that we can overcome it. We have to be prepared and learn from the mistakes in the past to be able to deal with the ones that's coming in the future and to propel ourselves forward from that. And that is what we are definitely going to do. Keep cool is Marcus Garvey's words out there, written while he was in prison. And, this is they wanted to let him out because if they kept him in there and he passed away, that seat up there in the middle, they kept the seat open for him when he comes out. But, if they let him pass away while he was in prison, they thought that would be some type of martyr, and they didn't want to do that. And he was going back to Jamaica. Look at these people. They're like, wow, like our father is leaving. And Marcus Mosiah Garvey, he was a great man and still doing great things. His legacy is still going. This is what his wife printed about the women saying, hey, we can stand up and be better than the men are. If they're not standing up, we're going to stand up. And that's a book you might want to look at, The Philosophy and Opinions of Marcus Garvey by his wife. And this is the impact that he had on some of our leaders, such as the Honorable Elijah Muhammad, who started the Nation of Islam. If you look up, that looks like the brothers from the UNIA. The sisters look like the sister from the Black Crosses. And, he's has that hat on his head just the same way Marcus Garvey did. And my brother Malcolm X, who had his dad was a preacher and a Garveyite, just like from Marcus, and passed on to Malcolm X. And you see Malcolm X, who was that? Farrakhan and Elijah Muhammad in that last picture. And folks, that is I'm gonna have some talks about Farrakhan a little later in this thing right here. And I love the Negro dolls with brown skin. Give it to your child. That is amazing. And then you have the Black Panther Party, who has arisen. And if you get a chance, they're the two right there. Both spoke of Marcus Garvey. You'll hear some live things that I recorded off my television, but I wanted to get that to you today. And here's some of the people that he influenced. Look at this right here. We talked about this last week. And these are people that he influenced. I just want to see from Africa, the Congolese, Patrice Lumumba, Martin Luther King. You can go on and on. These people are the people that Fela, I know Shuna loves this gentleman. If you can listen to his music, go look it up. This is one of my greatest, Mr. Bob Marley. This is the influence that Nelson Mandela, yes, all of these people, Marcus Garvey touched me. I don't know, Elijah Muhammad. If you go study them and look at them, all had the background of Marcus Garvey. My man Malcolm X right there, yes. We just had so many people that was influenced by Marcus Garvey, from the African-American diaspora all the way to Africa. We had it all over the world, and that's what he did. Even the Honorable Louis Farrakhan. So we had Kwame Ture back there, Kwame Nkrumah. We got so many people. Look at the Ghana flag, all resignated from the Honorable Marcus Garvey. The Rastafari movement, Marcus Garvey. Kwanzaa, Marcus Garvey. He put his stamp on it like I put my stamp on my children. Jamaica, if you go to Jamaica, go look at these places. And in Nigeria, he had these influences on all these people. The president of Nigeria, Kenya, you can see so much that he had an influence on South Africa. Don't ever think that this man was not important. Trinidad, all over the world. Just understand Marcus Garvey, Canada, had that touch, and when they don't even want us to know anything about our history about him in the UK where he passed away. Folks, this is amazing. Even in the United States, I was in Chicago. I went to play basketball against Marcus Garvey grammar school when I was back there. So he has so much in history and influence on our people. It is just amazing. So I hope you like that. I have one more, I think, that I'm gonna let you guys see. Here we go. Let's see if this is it. Da-da-da-da-dee. Okay, so I'm from what you guys saw, I'm gonna go through here right quick and play these things for you. I got so much stuff in there. So here we go, here we go, here we go now. Bam. Start about here. And here we go. Marcus Garvey's blueprint. I already told you what to do. So if you guys understand that he already told us what to do, I'm gonna ask you to open up the lines in a minute. What do you think? What are your thoughts of the Honorable Marcus Mosiah Garvey? He already told you what to do. What do you think we should be doing next? He said, Negro producers, Negro distributors, Negro consumers, the world of Negroes can be self-contained, can be and will be and shall be. That's what we shall be doing right here. The answer is in what? Marketing and distribution. Only through our unity will we prosper. Only through our unity. We have to unite, lock arms, do it with that red, black, and green flag. It's amazing what he has. And guess what? The future of our people is in our hands. Our hands, right here. The future of our people is in our hands. Are you ready to create the future of your race? Buying black is our only hope to real economic change. Together we can make our future to what we want it to be. The time for action is now. NOW. Again, it's be black, buy black, think black, and all else will take care of itself. All right, all right. I got that down. So let me see right here. Let's take a look at this right here. It's 3 minutes. You can take a look.
Everybody fired up this evening. I'm exhausted, barely breathing, holding on to what I believe in. No matter what, you'll never take that from me. My rain is as far as your eyes can see. It's amazing, so amazing, so amazing, so amazing. It's amazing.
We can now effectively do what our ancestors have been talking about for almost 100 years.
American Negro collectively is richer than most nations of the world. We have an annual income of more than $30 billion a year, which is more than all of the exports of the United States and more than the national budget of Canada. Did you know that? That's power right there if we know how to fool.
We should own and operate and control the economy of our community. We have to become involved in a program of re-education to educate our people into the importance of knowing that when you spend your dollar out of the community in which you live, the community in which you spend your money becomes richer and richer. The community out of which you take your money becomes poorer and poorer. And because these Negroes who have been misled and misguided are breaking their necks to take their money and spend it with the man. The man is becoming richer and richer, and you're becoming poorer and poorer. And then what happens? The community in which you live becomes a slum. It becomes a ghetto. The conditions become run down. And then you have the audacity to complain about poor housing in a rundown community. While you run it down yourself and you take it down.
We've got to strengthen black institutions. I call upon you to take your money out of the banks downtown and deposit your money in Tri-State Bank. We are telling you to follow what we are doing. Put your money there. You have 6 or 7 black insurance companies here. Take out your insurance there. Now these are some practical things that we can do. We began the process of building a great economic base. We've got to give ourselves to this struggle until the end. We got to see it through.
So our people not only have to be re-educated to the importance of supporting black business, but the black man himself has to be made aware of the importance of going into business. And once you and I go into business, we own and operate at least the businesses in our community. What we will be doing is developing a situation wherein we will actually be able to create employment for the people in the community.
The black man must unite in one grand racial hierarchy, making a racial empire upon which the sun shall never set. We black, white black, blue black, and all of them.
All right, all right. I think that was great. Let's see if I can get out of this. Let's see. So here we go. Listen to this one right here. I'm gonna pull it down for a second.
We are here on a mission to unite black people, to get black people working with black people, buying from black people.
We're recycling our money because this is money we're spending anyway. You know, and all we're doing is recycling it back and putting it back in our community. What is wrong with that? You know, I mean, that to me is the same survival method.
It's the same thing Marcus Garvey was saying in the early 1900s. He said, listen, you want to change the black community? Here's what you do. Be black, buy black, think black, and all else will take care of itself.
The money turns over in other communities repetitively, but in our community, it seems to come in and go right back out. You got people who've been eloquating that for a long, long time. But the methodology has not necessarily been there. And we need to add some method to this madness in order to get it done.
And the most important thing that we need right now is an economic movement that's based on black consciousness. And you are on the threshold of a discovery that's never been done. You're at the beginning of something. And I just like to end with the old African proverb that says, if you know the beginning well, the end will not trouble you.
All right, all right. Going on to one more. Dougie Fresh.
When y'all go out there and y'all make this happen on the scale that y'all can make it happen, what it does is it just shows that there's another alternative, and we don't need to do things in the manner that they was being done for a long time. The brothers been getting jerked for their money and all these other things, and then we could show how we are a distribution outlet ourselves, which means that we can control and own what we do. And we never have to worry about someone else telling us where we cannot sell our material.
We will never be successful depending on someone else to do for us what evidently you have learned that we should unite and do for ourselves. This is the success of the tag team, that you are united and you are working for yourself.
See, that's a beautiful thing about the Black Business Network. The Black Business Network is rooted in a black value system which promotes cooperation over competition. Ashe? See, if we work together, we'll profit together.
Look, you're not here just to work for somebody else. You're here to work for all of us, to work for our families, and to build something like we used to build.
You don't realize the magnitude. All it takes is for somebody to start it. And once somebody starts it, everybody's going to say, wow, that's going on over there. Let me get involved with that. And his brothers and sisters doing it collectively in unity. There's no funny business going on and everybody's all right. Come on, you can't lose with that.
It is now time for us to sort of circle the wagons and unite in the pursuit of excellence, self-help, economic and business development within the context of our own community.
The only people going to save us is us. And we have the ability to do that. We've gone through more degradation than anybody. We've gone through slavery that it would have killed the average people. We're not survived, but we're the best of the best. We're the creme de creme.
Nobody's going to build black businesses for black people except black people. We're going to build and develop our own businesses. We're going to support those businesses, and we're going to profit and prosper together.
We cannot just be consumers. We are owners, tradespeople, inventors, service professionals, distributors, manufacturers, and we are worthy of support.
And I do understand that despite our efforts to succeed in this great country, that something has gone seriously wrong, and still too many Americans perceive African Americans as less than equal and really wish that we would go away or leave them alone. Or maybe what they're really saying to us is, why don't you just go get your own? Well, I think it is now time that we listen to them.
Just know and believe that we have all the talent and smarts and resources we need to put our community back on track and pass on a greater story to our children. Just realize that our kids are not going to do better unless they see better.
You should lead by example. Get in business yourself. Bring the children in and begin to teach them responsibility.
It's a wonderful feeling to, in a sense, be your own boss. It's a wonderful feeling to get up when you wish to get up, go to work when you wish to go to work, and yet work hard, because you know the harder you work, the stronger the bottom line is, and the more good that you can do for yourself, your family, and your community.
If you want to be a part of the movement at its highest level, become a what? Marketer. The marketers who drive the movement. We make the movement happen. Are you with me? We're the ones who get black businesses to join, and you get paid for that. We're the ones who get black people to buy the products, and anything black people buy, you get paid for that. We're going to generate millions weekly and then daily in black-on-black spending. How would you like to be one of the marketers earning a percentage of every sale? You must have vision, my friends, and the vision of this starts right now.
This is going to take 21st century leadership. It's going to take 21st century networking strategies and tactics. It's going to take 21st century wealth creation strategies. This is what Delzino and Debbie are bringing to you every week, every month, right here with us. Unlimited opportunity.
A responsible adult sees it as an opportunity. You see something you want, you go after it. You don't stop and ask and worry about and ask to see if it's okay or see if whether or not they approve. That's the behavior of a child, okay? And that's the behavior of a person who goes and accepts the crumbs off the table instead of standing up and looking and see that they could have the whole thing if they just stood up and took it. And it's amazing to me how we accept crumbs and then get upset because we starve. And it's all there. God has provided for us this opportunity. As sure as I'm sitting here, God has provided this opportunity. The only thing we have to do is reach up and take it. And if you're not strong enough to reach up and take what is yours, and you're willing to accept the crumbs, then you deserve to starve.
All right, all right. One more, and we out.
When you play tag, when you tag somebody, that means you're it. And you definitely are it.
All right. You are definitely it. We tagged you, and that's it. Let's get out of this thing. Here we go. All right. So, let me bring everybody to the front. Hello. Uh-oh. Okay. Could you guys hear me?
Yes.
Okay. I'm saying my speaker's not working. I use a different speaker. I don't think that is. Okay. But you guys heard everything?
Yes.
All right, just making sure, because I don't like, why that thing on there? I don't know what's. Oh well, you can hear me. Doesn't make a difference. But I like all of that. You know, I like. Did you ever hear Martin Luther King say a speech like that?
No.
That's what I'm saying. You never hear that. You know, you never heard it say, "No, check your stuff out the right bank, put it in the black bank." No, now you don't hear that. You just hear nonviolent. Let's go march. That's what he did. But that's when he got murdered. You know, the next day or so, they took him out. It's like, okay, he ain't talking like we want to talk anymore. But so much for me. I just want to know, what did you guys get out of this whole month about Marcus Garvey? Anybody want to go first?
Okay, I'll go.
Okay.
So for me, August 17th.
No, first of all, who are you and where you calling from?
Oh, okay. So my name is Kyla Ahmad, and I am calling from Kingston, New York, but I'm from Brooklyn. So for me, August 17th has always had a special place because my grandfather, my maternal grandfather, his birthday is August 17th. And my childhood best friend, her birthday was August 17th. So I don't know. And then now, you know, your granddaughter's birthday is August 17th. So that date has always like come up. And I have another childhood friend who has that birthday as well. So that date just kept coming up, you know, throughout my life. But so I always think about August 17th. I can't like forget it. But you know, this was absolutely awesome. You know, I learned a lot of things about Marcus Garvey, and thank you, Dennis. I really appreciate you putting this together, because it's time for the people to wake up. You know, a lot of times that old saying, ignorance is bliss, but it's about time that we not be so blissful anymore, because we can't afford to be ignorant. So, you know, a lot of us have seen like the picture of Marcus Garvey, and in our ignorance, not understanding how deep the brother was. You know, it looked like he was just some dude in a costume, because, you know, society did not want us to know who Marcus Garvey is. And there's a reason for that, because he actually woke people up at a time where they didn't have the internet. They didn't have all of the tools that we have. And yet he was an awesome organizer. And had the people kept up that momentum, there's no telling where we would be. I know that we were headed for a lot of great things. I mean, even in that time during the Depression, to be able to like raise money to buy your own ship and to do all of those awesome things that he did, no matter what the obstacles were, he had a lot of good things going for him. And had he continued to organize the people, the tables would have turned in a way that the powers that be would not have liked. To say, okay, their laborers, we're taking them to Africa where they could actually be appreciated and really build in a way that they're not oppressed. Of course, they brought us here for a reason, and they want to maintain us here for a reason. So, but I really enjoyed hearing the pride that he brought to the people. His leadership skills lived on in many people. Malcolm X, looking at the FOI and the Sisters in the Nation of Islam. If we weren't told that was the Garvey movement, they could have easily been, mistaken for the food of Islam. So, so I just really think that it's time for us to start organizing again to really buy Black and think Black on every level that we can, do those things to think about, supporting various Black businesses within, the different movements that we're in. And I know you and Shuna are starting something, but I'm ecstatic, and I'm also excited because people all over are waking up. I was looking on Facebook right before this Zoom, and there was a brother on there that has paintings, and he had a really nice painting of Marcus Garvey. So people are starting to wake up. So I think that it's important to have forums like this where we could learn information. So again, I can't thank you enough for putting this together so that we can learn, because there's a lot of things, even though I heard of Marcus Garvey, there were a lot of things that I didn't know, that he really made Black women feel beautiful. In this society, we're taught, have straight hair, lighten your skin, to create the Black dolls. I think that's something that's really important for us to continue to do, even though some people are like, oh, well, that's teaching people to be racist. No, it's not, but we have to understand that our people were taught to be ignorant. So I know some months back on Facebook, one of my cousins he was working at a major store, and I think someone had like said something to their child about like not picking up the white doll. And so he had made a comment about, conscious people. So, and he's younger, so I have to have patience. Okay, well, let me explain to you, because a lot of our people don't know. And we, a lot of us have drank the Kool-Aid on the other side. So we buy into those myths about ourselves. So it's really important for us to teach our people how to have Black pride. That it doesn't mean that we're being racist, because everyone else can, have parades. They can have the Irish parade. They can have the LGBTQ, the gay rights parade. And I'm not knocking those things. I'm from the city. I've attended those things, even though I'm not, I don't identify personally with it, but I have supported people. So I'm not bashing anyone. The point that I'm making is that every other group is allowed to express themselves, and it's embraced by society. But the minute that the Black man, woman, and child embraces who they are and has pride, then we're called radical, the angry Black woman, and all of these things. And it's time for us to snap out of that and to teach people, yes, we can be proud. That doesn't mean that we're racist, but we can be proud and we can love each other. So back to you.
All right. Thank you very much. So you got a lot out of that. I really appreciate all the information you just put out there. As long as you're getting something, I really appreciate you picking up something. Now you can use it for now in your life and pass it on to someone else. And we want to know, I want to know what is the future of Marcus Garvey as well when we get to going on. What can we do now that we see this? How can we pass this on? And so what can we do in the future to keep his movement, his dream alive? Anyone else out there want to unmute yourself? Start picking y'all out. Okay. I'm gonna go.
All right. So real quick, since
Okay.
raised, yeah. So to answer your question, my biggest thing is to buy black as much as possible, and to also think about those things. And it's something that I have to work on, but to think about those things that we often buy that we could do without if we can't buy black. I like to shop. I'm not, I'm just keeping it real. So, but since meeting you, Dennis, I have changed my mindset. So, I really do think about, okay, do I really need that? Do I really need to support that establishment? No, I'll wait and I'll just support a black business instead. And also, a lot of us are creative. So we have a wealth of talents, in this group and the people that we all know. So I think that it's important for us to start tapping into those talents and seeing how we could take those hobbies and make those hobbies a business, because we all have something positive that we could bring. So if we all start becoming business people and making money and then supporting each other, then we can start to really not just watch DVDs or documentaries of Marcus Garvey, but to actually start living out and carrying out that legacy and furthering the mission. So, that's my response to your question.
Okay, okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much. I appreciate it. I love it. I love it, love it, love it, love it. So is there anyone, I'm gonna go right to left if nobody speak up. So who wants to go next on what you got out of it, how you can see what he's done in the past and how we can go to the present and move on to the future after what you've seen through this month, not just today, but throughout the month, and what may have you picked up through your life. Okay. Next, LaShawn, are you there? LaShawn? No.
Yes, I am.
All right. Okay. Come on out. I'm trying to pick on you. You're like, hey, why are you picking on me?
I'm LaShawn out of Chicago. And what I got from it was that we need to just be self-sufficient as a nationality and not depend on anyone else but ourselves, and to support each other, so that knowing how much money is spent, that will definitely send a message. And it doesn't have to be a violent one. It's a very quiet one. We take our money and we go home and make our own business at our own home. So, and then the fact that over 100 years, and even before then, that this was the message. And the fact that it is still today, people that are constantly being born and still being feeding off of his message, is definitely something of validity within itself to have lasted this long. And the fact that the resources that he had at the time that he was doing this is so much less than what we have now. It's almost sort of like shame on us. We should be doing more. So back to you, Dennis.
You're right. Shame on us. That's right. Not just you. It's me too. All of us. We should be doing so much more with what we have, because he had so little bit to work with, the technology. I think the internet has made the world a lot smaller, but he, it was a lot bigger than him. Nobody would even think about getting on a ship to go somewhere. I mean, even as today, you look at a lot of us, they say we die probably 15 miles or something away from where we live, 10 miles. But we have to get out and take journeys and go see what's going on throughout the whole world. God created this world. We read the Bible, everybody took a journey. What happened to us? Where did we stop? I can't do this. I can't do that. I always say you can, you will. You are a winner. You are a champion. We're the greatest. As I said, nobody steals from somebody who has nothing. They only steal from what is greater than. So we are a greater people. We created everything. We gave them their language, their arts, their sciences, their reading, the alphabet. We've done all of that, but they've switched it and tried to make it look like we were not the smart ones, but which we are. So I hope this came out to a lot of you. Okay, be mine. If you can unmute yourself, let's see what you got out of this. I know you don't like to speak, but if you can, go ahead and say a little word, even if it's high. Like, I gotta unmute myself. Okay. She's not gonna do it. All right, we're gonna come back to you. Nadra, you're there. Are you there, Nadra? Unmute yourself if you can. Let's see. Nadra. Well, she can't. Maybe she's driving or something. Let me see if I can unmute her. No. Okay, we're gonna go over to Latricia. How you doing? Can you hear me? Okay, Nadra,
Thanks
you
for the
unmute yourself.
assistance.
Okay. Go ahead, Nadra.
Can you hear me?
Hear you loud and clear.
Okay. That didn't work. Can you hear me now?
I can hear you. We hear you loud and clear.
All right. Thanks for that assistance with that unmute button because I have a few challenges here. I want to thank you for all that you do. I want to acknowledge that we on the phone, you know, we're pretty much some of your standard crew. And that's because we really value what it is that you do. You asked what else we can do. Getting men involved would be a very, very valuable thing for us to do. In addition to that, we recognize that we're in the times that we are and we face a number of obstacles, but starting wherever we can start on a small level and growing larger and larger and larger, I think is the way to go. We have to take a look at every little thing around us and every place that we can make a change. We do that. Decide what a need is in our community, for example, toilet paper. And then researching. So how do we begin to make a difference in that? And yet it may seem like there are a zillion obstacles in our way, but just as you gathered this forum, we can start somewhere and continue, because at least those of us here on the line get it. And we know that we have made a commitment to ourselves and to those on the line, to your forums, to support and just continue growing from there. But to consider ourselves a nucleus to whom we can reach out to each other and keep that up. I hope you don't hear all the noise in my background.
You're good.
Okay, so pretty much I'm done, because the only thing left to do is to do it, is to start it, is to just begin on the different levels that we can and let each of us know. We can let you know so that you can let each of us know who else is doing what. And you've been doing that, and I appreciate that. So I'm here and I have begun. And so the next time we come together, I will have something to report about the progress that I have made.
All right.
Thank you.
Okay. Thank you very much. Thank you very much, Nadra. Out of Los Angeles, we really appreciate it. We've had Chicago, New York, LA. All right, I appreciate it. So, all right, we're going to go over here to Latricia Williams. Latricia Williams, can you unmute yourself? Let me try and unmute you.
Hello, everyone. How you all doing?
All right, all right.
I chimed in late. I'm sorry I missed it, but I wasn't aware of a lot of things that Marcus Garvey had done. I know I've seen a lot of his pictures, but I'm just thinking, you know, we're in a time now of what we're really going through. We're going through a lot. And, you know, sometimes I want to say some of our fault too, because we don't pick up the pieces and run with it. We want to complain what's not being done, but why aren't we doing it, you know, to make a change, to make a difference? Like everyone's saying that a lot of these other groups, they stick together. I live up here in Rockland County, and we have the Jewish people who built a lot of houses, pushed them back. You know, they taking over the stores here, you know, that's going out of business. They trying to buy our houses and stuff so they could take over the community. You know, we need to start having our own and start having our own community and start having our own business and thing instead of complaining, because the government is not for us. They're for themselves. It's a business. I have put something on Facebook yesterday. I don't know if you took a look at it yet, Dennis, about they was talking about the stimulus checks and how the government is a business. And As far as the pandemic, it's gotten worse. It hasn't gotten any better, but they want us to go back to work and go back to school so they get the economy going and things like that. And you think about the next biggest 3 holidays that's coming up is Halloween, which people shop for candy, decorations, and costumes. And the next holiday is Thanksgiving. That's food and gifts. And then Christmas, more food and gifts. But if people don't get back to work and get some income coming in, they won't be able to do any of these things. I went to the store in the Bronx about a week or so ago, and I went to Kmart. Kmart was practically empty. It was nothing in there. And like I tell people, y'all still got to realize a lot of people haven't gone back to work yet. So a lot of things are not being made. I bought some appliances that I'm waiting on. Now I paid for it in August. They're not going to be here till October because they don't have the people constantly working now. So this is where we at. And if things does not get any better, we're going to be in a world of hurt. Not only for the people who's working, but the people who have depend on Social Security, disability, and then because we get our money from the people who are working, who pay taxes. If these people are not working and paying taxes, all of this is going to go. They said if the government doesn't do anything by getting money back by September, there may be a government shutdown. And then where we're going to be at, then other things are going to be closing. A lot of business cannot survive from the recession that we just had, and a lot of people won't be able to go back to work, so this is a mess right now, and I just want to say we need to do more, and I put out there, with the business that we in, that we should try to get people in because you never know what's going to happen, but people are not opening to things. And I don't know why. You depend on the 8 to 4 to 9 to 5, and they could fire you at any time, let you go. You see what we in. And they still don't want to pick up the pieces and say, okay, well, maybe I need to think about getting my own business or doing something, for myself, because I don't know where this is going to be at in the next year, and that's all I have to say. Dennis, I want to thank you. I appreciate what you do and how you're doing it. Like I said, I'm sorry I got on late because I would have been sharing it to other people, but continue to do what you do.
All right. Thank you very much up there in New York. Hey, you said a lot, if we don't do something, they'll do it for us and they ain't doing nothing. So we have to go out and create our own jobs. Like Marcus Garvey said, we have platforms where you can create money and be marketers. Like I said, we have to be the marketers. We have to push the product, push whatever we have, because the government, you can't depend on them. They just like sitting back like, I'll print some money today. Well, you ain't getting none today. But they're giving the corporations billions of dollars while you may get 1,200, 600. But corporations are getting billions of dollars, and we don't see that. That's where the rich get richer and the poor stay poor. But you're right, they do need us to fuel the economy, so they'll give us a little bit, and then, like you just said, 8 to 4, 9 to 5. That doesn't work no more. We're sitting back, we want welfare, we want Social Security. What if they cut it off? What are we gonna do? But if we were like Marcus Garvey did, have our own shipping lines, have our own stuff, have our own stores, making our own clothes now, and we buy from that and we hire our own, like he had 1,000 people hired in New York alone. That is what we need. That's recycling dollars, and we spend it with it, like you just talked about the Jewish community. They're doing it. We can do it. It's not effective. They're taking up, they're buying up more property because they have the money. They're moving out because they're still in business. They're still doing business with one another. And we have to do the same thing. We have to be listening to the blueprint that Marcus Garvey said. Imagine, have a visual, paint a vision where now we can go out and we can make this happen daily, weekly, monthly, quarterly, yearly. That's what we need to do. We can have our own semi-annual sale. We can have our own Walmarts or whatever the case may be. But we may have to start small right now, as we're doing with oars and other things that are coming up. We have to start this on a small. It's not built overnight. It took him 10 years, but we can do this as well. A lot of companies is taking longer than that. I showed you how long the NAACP has been in business, how long the Nation of Islam, other entities out there like that. But Marcus Garvey passed them all with 10 years, getting 6 million people, paying Black people in one organization. All right, Janie, I'm gonna go out to you, Janie. Can you unmute yourself? Or do I need to do it for you?
Yes, Dennis, I can unmute.
All right, Janie, what did you get out of Marcus Garvey this month? I gave it Marcus Garvey month. So I just want to go on a review what you picked up and what you've seen out of this right here.
Well, I like the fact that you even did the Marcus Garvey story because I never even knew anything about him. So that was a plus for me. Unfortunately, I missed a couple of the weekends, but I enjoy that you share different topics and stuff, and that Marcus Garvey has started his own business and stuff. That was amazing to me as well. So I have to go back and listen at the topics that you shared so I could have more insight on it. But I'm just glad that I even knew about him at all because I never knew about him.
All right, all right. Thank you very much. That means, hey, I'm doing something right. If I can get somebody to open up and find out something about it, that's what we all need to do. And whatever, you know, you don't think uh, anything you know, just pass it on, the information. Sometimes we think it's a dumb question, but it's not because someone else is thinking the same thing you're thinking. So go out and put your mind, broaden your horizons. And Marcus Garvey had a big event now with the UNIA, and we don't even know about it. I mean, a lot of us, we don't know nothing about it. We were here, right here in the United States, but it's not in any of our quote unquote U.S. history. You don't hear anything from it. Like Dr. Chika Akua says, they give you what they want you to know, and then they have what they don't want you to know. Everybody knows Martin Luther King because of what other reasons that we know of, but nobody knows Marcus Garvey, who did so much more, had so much things that he did. Oh my goodness, that's just like the Messiah. As a matter of fact, that I'm thinking about that, they have a movie that's coming out, Judas and the Black Messiah, about Fred Hampton and Mark Clark. It's not out yet, but if you get a chance to see that, go check that out. I'm from Chicago, and it's near and dear to my heart. I understand how, you know, just like Marcus Garvey was infiltrated, Booker T. Washington, Malcolm X, and so on and so forth. They've always done it. You just have to be prepared in the future to know what we're dealing with and be able to combat that. Okay, Sherry Culpepper, can you unmute yourself out there? Sherry. I don't know if she can. Let me see if she can't. I will assist you. Can you do it? Okay, let me try it. Let's see. There you go. Hello, Sherry.
How are you? I'm here. Can you hear me?
All right, we can barely hear you.
Oh, wait a minute. Maybe that's because I have a Bluetooth speaker on. Hold on one second.
Okay.
Can you hear me now?
We can hear you. It's just faint, but we do hear you. It's real faint. Maybe raise your volume. I don't know. Come closer to it.
Let's see. What's wrong? Can you hear me yet?
Okay. There you go. I see you.
Why can't I hear you? Yeah, right. I don't know why it's not.
Yeah, it's very faint.
Oh, give me one.
I can't really hear you. Can anybody else hear?
It's very faint, like you said.
Okay. All right, Sherry. Thank you anyway. I don't know why we can't hear, but that's all right. We'll get back to you next week.
You can't hear me, huh?
Okay, it's a little bit better. Oh.
Okay. Not sure.
Say something again. Okay, no, we can't.
So you can't hear me. I guess what I was going to say is, can you hear me, Dennis?
Yeah, I hear you now. Yeah.
Oh, okay. So how are you? First of all, hello, everybody. I appreciate this platform. Thank you, Nadia. Thank you for the invite. What this platform did for me was just remind me of who I am, where I am, where my great-grandparents, the path that they followed. And so many people said they didn't hear or know of Marcus Garvey before this platform. I mean, I'm 60. So, even in growing up elementary school here in New York, they didn't really teach us about Marcus. Not like they did Dr. King, not like they kind of glossed over Malcolm even. So I think that was done deliberately. We talk about starting businesses, which is important. We have to start where we are. We have a platform now in 2020 that our ancestors did not have. This medium where we can be on the phone like today and have people from different cities. So we are far ahead of what our ancestors had, but all we have to do now is stay focused. We talk about these holidays. In my opinion, Dr. Gregory and he's my godfather. We talked about 25 years ago of just one Thanksgiving fasting and one Christmas not buying any gifts. How about we just disassociate, disconnect from this society that does not respect us, does not support us, does not encourage us to grow? How about we say no more? We're going to keep our dollars in our pocket, in our communities, only with stores that support us. We can't even do buy black right now because you have a black-owned store, but you go in and every product on the shelf is made in China. You know, what's the brother? Claude Anderson talks about this. We have to build vertical businesses from the ground up. We have to grow the ingredients or manufacture the ingredients, put them on the trucks that we own or the trains or the planes or the freight, whichever medium, and drive them in trucks that we own to buildings we own. You understand? We have to build a vertical business. And right now, we don't have that. So we have to, as I said, start where we are, even if it's just right now, a black business that, I'm going to sit down, a black business that supports us, or companies that support us. For instance, I just went to Home Depot yesterday. I saw a list some time ago, a few months back, of all the companies that support Trump. So I understood that Lowe's has a black vice president or perhaps president. So I'm doing a lot of construction. So I said, you know what? I'm going to support Lowe's instead of Home Depot. I go into Home Depot yesterday, August 26th, they made a sweeping change that anything you return, if you don't have a receipt, you don't get any money for it. And I was like, this was a store that if you bought something and they would stand by any product they sold. So I have insulation, $124. Because the receipt, they're like, a penny for each one.
Breaking up.
Shouldn't you all have announced this? And then I remembered, oh, I know who you support. So this
Can't hear you.
So we need to start doing our research, find out what companies support our agenda, and move from there. So thank you for this, and thank you for reminding us, up you mighty race.
Okay, we can't hear you too much, Sherry. So I pretty much understand some of the stuff you were saying about how we patronize Lowe's and Home Depot and how we should be spending our monies together. We should, even if it's $10 or $5, let's go out and support our own business. Not a lot of black businesses out there, but you're saying even some of those they have with Chinese, made in China and everything else on there. So we have to go out and, like Marcus Garvey said, make our own product, market our own product, stick together, spend your dollars, be black, buy black, think black, and all else will take care of itself. Go ahead and be the master marketer as Marcus Garvey did. Not only did he market to the products, but as I said earlier, he marketed the idea of taking us back to the motherland and going ahead and do that. And made the idea of having a black star line. Now people are calling their soccer teams the Black Stars, or giving the same name. So we have so many things that Marcus Garvey has contributed to our race and our people that we should be very proud of. So I would again say happy birthday to Marcus Garvey for this month. And we really appreciate all that he has done. I didn't want you guys to forget about Marcus because I think he's one of the most influential people in African-American history, history of our diaspora, period, at home and abroad. And not to be known, or as little as known, it's a very shame that we don't know, or they don't, not that we don't know, it's not that they don't implement that and teach that in our schools. That's what I'm just saying. We need to have our own independent schools, get together, spend our money together, cooperate, build together, and make this happen. So We're in the process of doing it with oars. You will be seeing that more. And then invite your friends out. Now that you have the password, next week we'll be back here again at 1 p.m. Pacific time, 3 p.m. Central, 4 p.m. Eastern. Bring a friend. Now that you know the password and everything, come on out. Let's go ahead and get more people. If you didn't know, they don't know. Next week, I don't know what I'm going to be doing. I'll be up in Sacramento with my grandkids and my daughters, but I'll be up there. I'm still going to bring something with me. I don't know if I'm going to do the wonders of West Africa, but every week you're going to be getting something that I can bring to the table, something that's very informative. I'm eventually sharing. I'm going to be doing 7 a.m. Dr. Claude Anderson. I have a lot of stuff on that. But with that said, thank you all very much. Have a beautiful and wonderful weekend, and I'll see you guys next week. Same time, same channel. Bring a friend. Bring one. Each one teach one. It takes a village to raise a child. Bring us. Let us come on out. See where we are. We got us in New York. We got us in Chicago. We got us in California. All over the world. So thank you guys very much again. I appreciate it. And I'll see you guys on the beaches and adventures with a lot of money in your pockets. We're going to be great master marketers all over the world. I'll see you guys later. Thank you very much.
Bye, everybody.
Bye-bye.
Thank you. Bye.